We've invited you here this morning because we brought the Pallet Jack to Pack Expo. Obviously this show focused very much on packaging, logistics, design. The Pallet Jack is the latest addition to the MiR portfolio, basically to break into that space. The Pallet Jack has been introduced in Europe. It was introduced in Europe about a year ago and has been very well received there, with a number of different applications being taken into the logistics space, which in the past has been a little bit of a challenge for us to work in. Obviously with a Pallet Jack, this builds on our portfolio of AMRs, automated mobile robots, and now we can basically start to move pallets within warehouses, building on basically the software platform that we already have. But I'm going to let Todd talk a little bit more about the technicalities, and then I can come back and talk a little bit more about the applications.
Sure. Our MiR1200 Pallet Jack carries up to a 1,200 kilogram load, and actually from us it uses our same technology for safety that we have, our two LiDARs, but we actually included our new AI technology into this program, so it allows us to look at the pallet not just from a perspective of trying to find the pockets of a pallet, but actually we look at it and teach it the whole pallet. So we know even if there's an obstruction, there's something blocking it, we can still find the pallet and select it. And even if it moves a little bit, we can still go and go ahead and grab it. Now the other feature of it we also have demonstrated here today is we also have a pick and place from height. Normally we can also do floor to floor, but we can also pick it from a relative height and bring it back down up to 85 centimeters approximately. The third feature that we're going to introduce is our obstacle detection. So we actually have 5 RGB cameras on it, as well as a 3D LiDAR, and also our 2 safety scanners. So we can actually do obstacle detection even from the floor all the way up, to be able to see and detect obstacles, even as small like a set of forks on the floor, to prevent any, sees that as an obstacle and able to avoid it. From here you can see the MiR Pallet Jack is maneuvering in. It has a pallet on it right now, and actually it's going to go, it's located that this is the stand that's going to place it on, so now it's going to come over to this area and be able to see that, and it's going to place it on there. So one of the nice things about this is when it's picking and placing this, we're using the AI technology. We know the type of pallet this is. So this particular one, it's a 40 by 48 pallet. We actually can find the pockets and place it, as well as where we're placing it here. It's really much more involved when we get into the picking, when we can identify the type of pallet. Once this continues, you'll see it locates and then is able to go and dock and deliver the pallet to the stand. And with also you notice the noise, that's part of the safety feature saying, yes, I am actively moving this, and it's actually letting people around know that it's actually doing some sort of a docking or undocking maneuver. So once it clears, then it will lower the forks down, and then this is like, I've delivered my payload, I can go on to a new location, and then I can pick up another pallet and do another mission that may be given to me, given to the robot at that point. So some of the other features in this Pallet Jack, we have our standard 2D LiDARs. There are 3 2D LiDARs on for safety. That gives us our safety around the robot. We have 5 RGB cameras in here. We also have a 3D LiDAR on top. So this is what we use for our, with our AI platform, we're able to use that for our obstacle detection. So we can actually see all around the robot and be able to, when it's in the process of moving, it can help us detect anything from the floor up, and then being able to up to about 2.5 meters is what we try to sit, so we can see any obstacles around. A big problem or challenge for a lot of AMRs or even AGVs out there is being able to see how, when you place a set of forks from a forklift or on the floor, they can't see it. So this allows us to be able to see anything from the floor. We can even see those forks from the floor and be able to treat those as an obstacle. We've trained the robot using that AI technology, train the robot that is an obstacle, and then say, okay, now we know how to work around and avoid it. So now this is where it's using the technology. It's going back in to go and find the pallet. It can see it. It knows what type of pallet it is. It's going to go and it's now lining itself back up. And it's going to detect the pallet, and then go and get it. So one of the troubles with this from other AMRs or AGVs where it's using a very simple 2D LiDAR issue is if you have shrink wrap or a damaged pallet that's looking for trying to find the forks or the pockets and the fork pockets, and they can't always find them. So when we know and we teach it the whole pallet, so it knows what the pallet is and where to go get it. So those are no longer an obstacle for us. One additional feature with this pallet jack is if we have a load jam detection as well. So if we feel that as we're going in and picking up the pallet, and for some reason there's a damaged piece of the pallet or that pallet begins to move when we're picking up, we detect that, and then we will alarm and back and retry. And then if we're not able to do that, if we're still not able to detect it, then we can alarm and let somebody else know that we cannot go and grab that pallet. But we have that load jam feature, which is a really nice feature to prevent anything from being damaged.
So following on from what Todd had just basically mentioned, the importance of this in the marketplace is that these three aspects really put the MiR Pallet Jack ahead of basically anything else that is in the marketplace. We've really tried to understand this environment and the challenges that our customers will face in this environment and really develop a solution that can accommodate all of those challenges that we see in the warehouse space. It is a very challenging environment. This is an area where forklifts are traditionally used, which has a very high safety element associated with it. So many companies are looking to automate in this space, and being able to have an autonomous robot that can basically do that and be able to pick a place, recognize safety, and also make decisions about the type of pallet or how the pallet is located is extremely important. Not always in a warehouse are the pallets going to be uniform, and we need to basically be able to, through AI, enable the pallet jack to make decisions, like take the data in, interpret that data, and then be able to adjust so it can go and be accurate in that environment.